And joining me right now to kick things off, he's a fellow radio talk show host, goes by the name of Dennis Daniel. He's with me right now. What's going on, man?
Well, hey, Kenny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing real good. Thank you so much for taking the time to being on the show, man. As a fellow talk show host, I truly appreciate it, man.
Well, I appreciate it, but you forgot a few things as well.
Okay.
When you were doing my introduction, you forgot a few things as well.
Okay.
You forgot that I am the current reigning and defending Blog Talk Radio World Heavyweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
You also forgot that I am one of the top 300 hosts out of 15,000 on Blog Talk Radio. And most importantly, you forgot that I'm a Scorpio.
That sums right up there.
Why not, man? That's a joke. Pretty hard.
Oh, man. So,
But no, seriously, I am happy to be on your little radio program. A radio host myself, I feel it's very important to lend a hand to the up-and-comers who are going to pave the way for the next generation of big radio stars, and I am happy to help out a show not too similar to mine.
we do have some differences. My show tends to focus more on the entertainment talk show, celebrity-esque type of things, and you got some anime, you got wrestling, which I'm a fan of, and I got a question. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a WWE fan. And,
Nothing wrong with that.
You
Now,
know,
if you were a TNA fan, we'd have problems.
I host a radio talk. I host a show, another show separate for this. It's about wrestling, and I do cover both WWE and TNA. I wouldn't say I love it. I'm more of a WWE fan than a TNA fan, but I do tend to. I even watch Ring of Honor as well. So.
Well, see that redeems you in my eyes, Kenny, because, I was like, well, he likes TNA, so I'm going to get ready to hang up. And you said Ring of Honor, so okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. All right. Okay.
And I will tell you this, as far as who's my favorite current wrestler, I know he's taking a hiatus right now, but I'm a fan of John Cena. That's my dude. That's my dude. And he's had an incredible 2015. As far
Kenny,
as
I will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, he has brought some kind of vigor back to the United States Championship field.
Yeah.
And now that it's in the hands of a Mex-American, Alberto Del Rio, I think that, it will go up again and become one of those, another workhorse title like the Intercontinental Championship, which I am an avid fan of.
When the last time that someone who's had a meaningful United States championship, especially in the WWE era. I mean, when Cena first won it, when at WrestleMania 20 with Big Show, it wasn't that big of a deal, I suppose. But something about this year and the open challenges that he's done and the feuds he's had with Ambrose and Stardust and Kevin Owens, which I think that's the best rivalry of the year. Kevin Owens is on a whole nother level.
Absolutely.
And just...
That's why he has the belt. That's why he has the IC title.
Yeah.
Because someone sees something in that little Abbott flab. He's a guy that a guy like me can relate to. He's not muscle bodybuilder. He's not Mr. Universe. He's a guy who just fights. He's a prize fighter, and he's got one of the richest prizes in the company.
Yeah.
So absolutely, Kevin Owens is going to be one of those breakout stars. Now, if only they will take him the right way with talent, because you know as well as I do that WWE had some great talent, but they chose other ones over them, and those went to the wayside.
Yeah.
And one I am an avid fan of that got this kind of treatment is the one and the only Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder?
A guy who marketed himself, and this is my theory, and I know we're going off topic, but I want to talk about this for 1 second.
Okay.
It is my personal theory that if not for Zack Ryder's YouTube channel, there would not have been as big a pull for WWE to get involved in social media. Thus, no social media connection with WWE, no WWE Network.
I will say that Zack Ryder's YouTube channel, Long Island IZ, he definitely played a role in making WWE very active social media wise, and he did it when he wasn't pushed or anything. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Now, compared to today with Xavier Woods' channel Up, Up, Down, Down, you know, that comes at a time when Xavier's being pushed along with the other members of the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. But again, I link all this back to Zack Ryder and his The True Long Island story. And you know, it's fascinating. I actually talked a while back with his best friend, Mike Chiappetta,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the Long Island Iced Tea, you know, not the Big O, his other friend, the little nerdy-looking guy.
Okay.
We were talking, and this is one of my favorite things, is that we talked about how Zack pushed himself when no one else had given the push. And because they saw that the audience was getting behind him, they pushed him too. Now, somewhere along that way, I believe when Ryder dropped the U.S. title to Swagger, that's when he kind of got derailed because he had the whole John Cena, Kane, and Eve storyline, and that's what killed him. And that's what broke my heart.
I feel like who knows what could have happened. I also point out with his feud with Kane, and then he wheelchair got through right out of the ramp or whatever, and he just
it was like a train wreck to watch, and it ended in a jerk way, and I think I think if talent didn't go that way, he'd be one of the top stars. I mean, but then again, look at The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
He headlined WrestleMania 27. He was the WWE champion.
Yes, he was.
Now look at him. He'll get an IC title run here and there, but he's pretty much done.
Oh, yeah. As far as being a potential world champion, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because let's face it, your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, The Miz, doesn't sound as good as, say, Dean Ambrose or Kevin Owens or, dare I say, Cesaro.
No, it doesn't. I feel like with Miz, I guess he just was in the right place at the right time when people didn't expect it. But of course, throughout his career, ever since Tough Enough, people laughed at him thinking he didn't belong.
Now, that I will say, he is a good mid-carder. He has brought a lot of prestige to the tag team division, to the singles competition. You know, you can throw an IC title on him, a U.S. title, a tag team title. You know, and like I said, half of this has to do with booking, because I believe that there are guys in that locker room that do not get the attention they deserve. Guys like Sandow, Curtis Axel, guys who have. Did you know that Damien Sandow did wrestle back in 2005 in the division with WWE before they stuck him with terrible gimmicks like the Easter Bunny and Idol Stevens and all this nonsense? Yeah. It's a real shame, because I love Damien Sandow, and that's why I was so upset that they threw away his Money in the Bank chance. He could have made that title glimmer. Look what he did to the briefcase, for Pete's sake. That was a beautiful briefcase.
Yes,
he could have revamped the world title. If there's no one that doesn't love changing the design of a title, it's WWE. I mean, look what they did to the WWE title. It went through several changes in the 50 years that it's been around. We've had winged eagles. We've had spinner belts. We've had, custom side plates for different superstars. He could have taken the world title. He could have made it like the original one that Bruno Sammartino held back in the early 60s and 70s.
He definitely had the tools to be that guy. He has the charisma.
But what did they do? They buried him so they could push guys that eventually would leave the company.
Yeah.
Another guy, and I forgive me, Kenny. We're going on a wrestling tirade.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That's the beauty of the show.
But another guy, and I'm going to say this, and I know all the fans are going to agree with you, Dolph Ziggler. The guy pushes himself every freaking night. I mean, if you got to watch any performance that highlights him, either watch the Survivor Series main event from last year or the ladder match with Luke Harper for the Intercontinental title from TLC and S.
Yes.
Because that's a stupid name. I mean, this guy pushes himself above and beyond. And what does WWE give him? Well, I'll tell you what they give him. They give him Lana until Lana decides to marry Rusev, and now Ziggler's got nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. He's going to be buried so that Tyler Breeze can get a push. And I'm sorry, but Tyler Breeze is like, ugh, oh, just give me that freaking self-yellow stick. I'll break it over his head. Not too big a fan of Tyler Breeze. No. Now, I may have to watch a little more NXT to get used to him, but who knows? I love guys like, Sami Zayn. I was actually hurt that the Vaudevillains dropped their titles to these two newcomers. And then they posted a photo of Triple H giving them the thumbs up.
Yeah.
I love the Vaudevillains. They have a great gimmick. They have a great entrance. They have these little mini movies they used to do where they're like training and they're like fighting a bear. I mean, look at the promos they did for the feud they had with the Lucha Dragons.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. They are a great team.
I definitely, it took me some time to come around with the Vaudevillains, but they are one hell of a good tag team. Gotch and English.
Yeah.
And
now, I will admit their title run wasn't the best. They didn't really have much competition. But I'll tell you what, turn them heel, give them the titles, let them feud with Enzo Amore and Big Cass.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
Tag
that.
team gold, and like they say, you can't teach that.
Oh, yeah.
Give me how you do it. Okay. So that's just my 2 cents on the wrestling industry right now. I mean, if you want more, go watch the latest high reel from my friend from Botchamania. That there you can get your 2 cents on wrestling. So let's dive into this little shenanigans show that we're doing called The Interview.
All right. Well, what got you started into doing radio? How did it all start off for you, man?
Well, it started when that one kid in high school said, Dennis, you got a face for radio. Okay. No, that's not it. That's a bad joke. Actually, it started with my father. Now, my father is, well, I guess he still is a traveling DJ. He calls himself the DJ Doctor, and on weekends he would do, weddings and college graduation parties, and he would do these big events, and I would be his assistant. And I'd help him get his equipment loaded and unloaded, get him food while he's performing, stuff like that. Nothing too fancy, but the basics. Well, I was walking through UC, which is the University of Cincinnati, and I look up and I see this flyer in one of the University Life Centers, and it's for a radio station called Bearcast. Now, let's face it, I ain't too handsome, and at this point, I was still trying to find my way around the world because I wanted to design video games, but my ACTs were too low to get into DAP. Ooh, fancy. They're so debonair in DAP. So anyway, I go there and I audition. They like the energy I have, and the next thing you know, they put me on this 2-hour format show, and I got to think of a title for it. Now, and this is the truest story I've told anyone. The title came to me by 3 signs at the TUC Student Life Center. There was one sign that said all, one sign that said taste, and then one sign that said explosion. So that came up with the title, All Taste Explosion. Now, for my handle, I remember this episode. You remember the episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will and Carlton, they go to Vegas and they lose all their money?
Yes.
And they end that dance competition, and the announcer introduces them as Will the Thrill and Boogaloo Shrimp. So I liked the name Boogaloo Shrimp.
Yeah.
So that became the All Taste Explosion with the Boogaloo Shrimp. Now, my show, it wasn't anything too special, just me being, an idiot, which comes naturally. But, they really liked the passion I put into it, the podcast I was slowly releasing out there, and I won their Innovator Award at the banquet they did every year in 2009. So I was their Innovator of the Year. Now, 2009, I was getting a little tired of just doing the morning jock shot, toilet humor, jokes like that. That was boring. I wanted to get my name out there with talk show, talk shows like Letterman, Leno, Conan. I don't say Kimmel because I don't like to do like Kimmel. Even though he does I'll admit, some of his more recent stuff's been pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Fallon's been doing really good too, by the way. But anyway, so I started this little talk show called The Dennis Daniels Show, and I'm a really big anime fan, like you said. So we started off by having voice actors. And the first one was October 30th, 2009. And I had one of the coolest voice actors in the history of history, a guy by the name of Pat Fraley. Now, if you are a big 80s fan, like I am, you will know him best as Krang from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Bingo.
Bingo. And he also does a whole bunch of other great stuff. Did you know in the animated wrestling cartoon Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, he was Hillbilly Jim?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and you know who played Hulk Hogan?
Who?
Brad Garrett.
Ah, okay.
The big guy out there by Liz Raymond. Hey, Raymond.
Yes, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, that was him. It was actually one of his first starting roles. He does a lot of voiceover work. And, that show had so many great people. Charles Adler, who would go on to do stuff like Cow and Chicken, did Roddy Piper, James Avery, who was Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince, and the Shredder from Ninja Turtles, was the Junkyard Dog. You had a lot of great people working on this show, and this is one of those shows that bridged, pop culture and pro wrestling and brought it into mainstream. I mean, this was during the time of Hulkamania. Hulkamania was a big, big thing, and we were talking about how it just has this big impact. But he's done other great shows. He was on Rainbow Bride. He was on Brave Star, The Cowboys of Moo Mesa. So many great shows. So, and he even did some trash talking to me as Krang in the first few minutes of the interview, which was awesome. And of course, then we have so many great guests. Beyond then, we had Little Karibo from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, Christopher Sabat, Henry Winkler, who was the Fonz from Happy Days, Tom Kinney, who was SpongeBob, Veronica Taylor, who was Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, and of course, your boy, John Cena! John Cena was an absolute treat because I'm sitting here doing this interview with this other girl from the University of Dayton, and I'm trying to hold all my fangirl in because I'm like, and it's like I'm shaking. It's just like so cool. And the cool thing is, when the shows come around to Cincinnati, he recognizes me, and that is amazing.
That's awesome. And I do want to point out, you are from Cincinnati. Before I lived in Kentucky, I used to live in Cincinnati. It's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah, Cincinnati, I know, Cincinnati, where if you go to a school and you ask a student what comes after a sentence, they raise their hand and go and appeal.
Pretty much.
Norwood's the city I'm in, and that's a bad city. Our school newspaper had an obituary column.
Oh,
we don't have a town drunk. We all take turns. Where comedians drive home safely, we go, hey, we drove our house is here.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm just being goofy. This is the kind of thing you expect when you do the Dennis Daniels Show. It's not your typical show. It is, it's my dream child. It's me being me, and a lot of people don't like that. And Kenny, I'm sure you've heard that too. A lot of people will say, well, he just doesn't have the talent, or he's just not that entertaining. But you know what? You got to ignore them, because if you listen to all the naysayers on the internet, then you're going to get disheartened pretty quickly and not have any more passion to do this. Trust me. And this is kind of like the downfall to the social networking era of our lives. While it does bring people together and makes our content more easily accessible, it also brings out a lot of jerks. I can't tell you how many times I've gone through my channel and heard, he's not funny, he's not professional, he's boring. But the reason I do this, I don't do this to be popular. I do this because I love to do it. And, I may not be as big as those Danny Grumpers or their Mork and Mindy Pliers and their God forbid PewDiePie. I may not be as big as them, but you know what? If I make someone's day by asking one of my guests a question that they asked me to answer for them, then I'm doing my job. I may not be, Bob and Tom quality. I may not be Howard Stern offensive, but you know what? I'm Dennis Daniel originality, and you can't beat that.
Just to hear that from you makes me feel good of what I like to do.
Yeah, Kenny, you're doing great stuff here. I've
I,
seen some of your guests, and I'm pretty
yeah,
impressed.
and
You do not give up. Do not let the steam burn out of your train and of energy, because you got some good stuff going on. So please do not get discouraged by people if they say they don't listen to your show or if they've never heard of you. Do not discourage. You are still getting started in your young career, my friend.
yes, I truly appreciate that. And I mean, we're hosts. We do this for the love of it. I mean,
Yeah.
and whatever happens, if we get big deals or whatever, that's fine. If not, I mean,
Now,
we still
occasionally people may offer me their virgin daughters as a sacrifice,
Yeah.
or they'll sometimes offer me stuff through Visa. I prefer PayPal, but I
Yeah.
can't control what they give me. Anyway, that's a very bad joke there. But, again, you don't do this for the adulation. You don't do it for the sponsorships.
Yeah.
You don't do it because it gets you millions of views on YouTube. Trust me, my videos are a testament to that. I've had videos. I mean, I've had interviews with big name stars. They've gotten like 200 views because I can't compete with those cats in the little top hats or the little hamsters eating tiny burritos. You can't compete with that, Kenny. You just can't.
You can't.
They're hamsters having tiny burritos, and they are adorable.
Yes, it is.
So don't even try. Unless you have a hamster doing an interview, then you may have something there. But just don't try. Don't try, Kenny.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
Maybe you could interview those little hamsters that were eating the burritos, see what they think. Oh, that's right. Hamsters don't talk.
That's something.
And they probably have a mouthful of burrito, and that'd be
Yeah.
good hamsters.
Again, I'm joined with Dennis Daniel of the Dennis Daniel Show. Make sure you check out his show, Blog Talk Radio. You can check out his Facebook
We do have a Facebook page at facebook.com/Dennis Daniel Show.
Yeah.
And you can follow us on Twitter at Den Show.
Oh, absolutely. And what you got in store for 2016? Anything particular?
Well, Kenny, I'm not going to lie to you. 2015 and 2014, they no bueno. A lot of personal stuff's been going on. I won't bore your listeners with everything that's been going on personal for me.
Mm-hmm.
We are really hoping to get 2016 back up and running, because 2016 is the 20th anniversary of one of the biggest video game franchises ever released in the history of history, and that is, of course, Pokemon. And, we've done some interviews with some great voice actors from Pokemon. We want to have them back. We're actually planning to get Veronica Taylor, who was the original Ash Ketchum, on there, because me and Ash got some unfinished business. Because one thing I want to try to bring the summer of 2016, our first ever radio drama. It will be a 6-on-6 Pokemon battle between my character, Dennis Daniel, and Ash Ketchum. I won't tell you who wins, because I haven't written it yet. But I tell you this much, it will be awesome. And of course, I got some great people involved in the show. My friend Ashley Durrell, who plays our announcer Belle Dandy, she's a very lovely voice actress who's trying to make her name out there. We've got the super talented Karen Strassman, who is playing my character's manager, Poison, if you're a big fan of the Street Fighter series. The very controversial Poison, you know who I'm talking about, Kenny?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Yeah, Poison. Yeah. Well, hey, I like her.
I do
So
too.
She's the Bobby Heenan to my Andre the Giant,
Good.
or the
analogy.
Jimmy Hart to my Honky Tonk Man.
Great analogy. That's great.
Yes, I know it's a great analogy. But so we're hoping to get her involved in some more stuff. Karen's always willing to do stuff for the show and for us, and that's the cool thing. I've made so many great friends through doing this stuff. It's just amazing how many people, have listened to us, and you're like, you know these people? I'm like, yeah, I know these people. They're awesome. But, the thing that you got to remember is you got to stay humble. And if you don't stay humble in this business, you can, get an ego that could fill Paul Brown Stadium. And trust me, that's a big stadium. So you want to keep your ego in check. Trust me, ego has come back to bite me a few times, and it's never a good feeling. So some sage advice from a long season professional to you, Kenny: keep the ego in check. Do not get a big head.
Totally hear you loud and clear, man. Well, Dennis, it
But
was...
but back to your question
Yeah.
though. You know, we got some more great stuff. You know, they're coming out with a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh movie, and if you've listened to the show before, you know I got an arch nemesis in Seto Kaiba. We did a vignette duel in 2010, so we're hoping to do another return match, which will be another radio drama we'll be doing in 2016, hopefully. So, you know, some great stuff, some great fan-created content that you're going to only see on the Dennis Daniels Show. Plus, we are in talk with getting a few of the awesome, talented actors from the very popular Cartoon Network show Steven Universe to come on the program. We're going to be working with some fandom voice actors to be producing what we like to call Dennis's Universal Tour, which will be featuring interviews with the voice of Steven, Amethyst, Pearl. We're working on getting Lapis Lazuli on there, Jasper, Peridot. I know everyone's like, what about Garnet? I'm like, it's Stout, you know? I'm going to go outside and try to pull the moon down from the sky. There's a still. But, you know, we're trying our best to get all these great people to come back on. We are still working with the people at Riff Tracks who do the riffing videos on movies. We're working to get Michael J. Nelson onto the program again. We had some small hiccups the first time around, but we're working on getting those smoothed out for another episode in 2016. But, yeah, I think 2016 will be a very big year for the Dennis Daniels Show. So, again, stay tuned to us. We're launching a brand new website at DennisDanielsShow.com. Nothing yet, but trust me, it is coming. And I give you the Dennis Daniel guarantee. It will be awesome.
Yes, indeed. Well, Dennis, it was great chatting with you. As a fellow
What,
talk
we're
show.
done already? Oh,
Yeah.
no, Kenny, I don't want to go. You didn't ask me about my political views or what I think of this crazy upcoming election. Who will I vote for? Will I vote for everybody's crazy uncle or the very angry jack-o'-lantern?
You know what? We can save that for part 2, for the follow-up. I
All
could
right.
definitely save it.
Okay. Well, Kenny, thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and good luck with the rest of your show. From what Celestial Cosplay told me, you're going to need it.
You have a good night, man. Take care.
All right, you too. Good night now.
All right. That was my good friend Dennis Daniel of the Dennis Daniel Show joining me on Chilling with Jeffrey Kenny C. And